So hello guys. So today we have Swapnapratim, that is a blockchain guy. So we can see a few big numbers and few big packages here. So yeah, let's start with our intro. Swapnapratim, welcome to our pod.
Thank you so much, Dev Studio. Hello, everybody. This is Swapnapratim Bhaumik. Currently, I am just graduating up as an electrical engineer from NIT Agartala. But unfortunately, I'm a blockchain developer at a number of places for now. So that's my intro in short.
We'll come to that. How did you make it from the third year itself and also full time? Also, we'll come to that. So yeah,
Sure, sure.
okay. So let's start with your yeah. Uh, Highest package so far, and also
Uh,
not particularly
yeah.
to that thing. Basically,
Mhm.
highest package and the most interesting work you have done, which like you may have done the highest package and the most interesting one in that particular thing only and in that particular company only. But yeah,
Mhm.
you can go with what, yeah, what you.
Sure. Actually, that's a very interesting question because not necessarily you will do some very good, interesting work with the
Yeah,
highest package, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, if I remember correctly, just to answer your question, would you like me to answer in certain range, or would you like me to give you the
Range is
literal
okay.
number for
Range is
that?
okay. Range is okay.
So the highest I have earned is around 32 to 35 lakhs
Okay,
per
okay,
annum,
okay. We can see the big
and
numbers. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's the highest. But if you question me about the most interesting work I've done so far,
Yep.
that was during the time when I just started as a full-time blockchain developer at a very early age startup at Bangalore.
Okay.
So if I can give you a small introduction or summary of what I
Sure.
did,
Sure. Sure. Sure.
actually I was not aware of how production-based blockchain applications are built. And
Okay.
because I was fairly new to the world, and I was also a guy who was surfing throughout YouTube, doing all the so-called projects they were building to do applications on a blockchain platform. And that was kind of messed up because that's not how you do at a production level
Yep.
scale.
Yep.
Because there are real people using your application, there are real money putting into the custody of your smart contracts. We'll come to the smart contract part, but yeah, you are playing with people's money, right? So you need to be aware of how to write scalable, secure, high performant blockchain code as well as backend servers in order to execute your functionality well.
Yep.
Because
Makes sense.
at the end of the day, it's the user experience that matters, right? And so that was the most interesting piece of work where I had to build a perpetual exchange using Solidity smart contracts. But it was not just some random perps exchange, it was where you can put anything, any synthetic asset as your collateral, and you can long and short on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Tesla,
Okay.
anything you would like. So currently, there is a limitation in perp dexes where you have just a few number of collaterals that you can put in. The highest, if I can think of, is to the number five, where you can put five collaterals in total, and then you can long or bet on some asset down. But what the innovation I had brought in was using like a different kind of algorithm where the user was not bound to just spend on five collaterals. If he has, let's say, rice as an asset,
Okay.
like synthetic rice asset in his wallet, he can put that as the collateral and long and short on Bitcoin. And how fantastic was that? That was the most interesting piece of work I had done, which
Nice.
gave me a huge exposure to how the decentralized finance world operates.
So you have been putting so much jargons about the blockchain, and yeah, I know a little of the stuff, but yes, I think that was your most interesting one.
Hmm.
Nice, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So,
So, could you give a brief about how was your journey from the start to end, and and what are the things you worked upon in a brief, like so that a guy with no knowledge, like little knowledge of blockchain, would also understand.
Yeah, sure. Good question, because I have been a victim of this so-called, what is that called? Course hell or
Yeah,
tutorial
yeah,
hell,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Tutorial help.
So that's a very important thing to recognize before you start your journey on this platform, because at this age of world you have so many resources. If you go throughout the web, you will find so many resources,
And
but at the
one
same
thing
time,
to
it's a
add.
boon and a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, one
Sure,
thing to
sure.
add. Sometimes what it leads to is like sometimes I'm stuck in one of the thing, and some YouTubers
Hmm.
and some resources say that don't do this, do this, do a separate, follow a separate path, and like students follow, means leave that behind and start to follow that thing. So it's like it also
Yeah.
happened to me also, like so. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
you
that
can.
has happened to me as well. Hmm. So, what I would recommend is, before even starting through blockchain development, you should first know how the internet works, how Web 1 came, how Web 2 came, and why is the heck Web 3 coming in. If you don't know what are the problems with Web 2, you will never be able to be a good Web 3 engineer.
Yep.
So it's very important to know what is web development at this age, or how full stack development works. It was a very big mistake of myself when I first started. I totally ignored full stack development and web development, and
Okay.
for that I was stuck for a long time in my career journey. So what I would recommend is, you should start learning about internet, domain name service, World Wide Web, transport layer, and all these jargons of the
CS
internet
fundamentals.
world. Yes, the CS fundamentals, exactly. How database works, and what is how a database is created even, and how the REST APIs work, and what is a WebSocket, all these stuffs. Because why am I telling this? Because when you will come to the later part of Web3, where you will design a lot of stuffs, you will see there is a lot of similarity between Web2 engineering concepts, design fundamentals, and Web3.
Okay.
So if you are familiar to how the current present Web2 world operates, you will be very familiar to how you can recognize the problems of Web3 and make some solutions to that. So I would recommend start off with full stack development, know a lot of backend development work. I wouldn't recommend a lot of front end, because front end is fairly needed just to know how the backend is getting interacted with the user.
And
But knowing that much is fine.
nowadays though just one prompt
We have
and
vibe coding.
yes,
We have
just
vibe coding. Bang.
so one prompt
Yes,
does everything. So yeah.
exactly.
So
So
nice,
yeah,
nice,
then
nice, nice.
once you know full stack development, once you know how to create web servers, and at least you know the fundamentals, if not practically, you know theoretically that how all of these are connected, then you can start knowing about Web3 and the evolution of Web 2 to Web 3, how it has been till date from the year 2009 when Bitcoin white paper was released to 2025, where we
and
have n
and
number of layer twos. Yeah,
yep, yep. And one thing to add, like if you know the basics and then go to that part, then you will feel more interesting. Like honestly speaking,
exactly.
like if you directly jump upon that, then you will be like, no, coding is not for me. So yeah, like
Exactly.
start from basics, and you'll feel so much interest in that. And one thing, one question to ask. It was like my last questions, but. As you have started this, I wanted to ask like starting blockchain and learning it, going a certain level is okay, but how to get that
Mhm.
job, the blockchain job? Actually, everyone, like many hackathons are going, many were participating, many were giving making projects, but the level means the level to which a job is attained for the blockchain job, like what needs to be done?
Yeah. Um, Actually, this is a very, very typically, it's a misleading question actually.
Okay.
People get stuck in
Okay.
this question because There is not one significant answer to this question, if I can respectfully answer this to
Okay.
you, because like this is just as you can say, like just to give you an example,
Mm-hmm.
if I am a political party and I say I'm gonna win this election
Mm-hmm.
by doing this doesn't happen, right? In reality,
True.
because the groundwork, the emotions, the sentiments of
Mm-hmm.
people change. So the sentiments of the market, the power dynamics of the market, it changes very drastically. But if you can keep your fundamentals right, if you can keep your basics right, if you know how to be consistent, consistently improving as a production level engineer throughout, you know what a senior engineer does better than a junior or a new graduate. If you know these stuffs, this won't be a problem for you.
Makes
Because
sense.
if you remember when there was 2 3 years back when the layoffs started of
Yep.
huge tech companies,
Mm-hmm.
there were people of around 15 to 17 years of experience from Cisco who were getting fired, right? Just with one message.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because the whole project was a loss-making project. So it doesn't depend whether you are a senior engineer or you are highly skilled or even you are a junior engineer. The whole thing is upon fate. But if you have your basics right, that senior engineer who has had 17 years of experience but got laid off due to some unfortunate circumstances, he will never have a problem getting a second job, right? Because he has leveled up through a production giant
Yeah. Yeah.
throughout these years. So for a new graduate like us, or we have our juniors coming up on the line, I would like to say ki you know that you know these stuffs, but people don't know that, right? I don't know you know these stuffs. Why don't you come out on public and tell me that?
Yeah.
Why don't you
Like.
show others what you know, right? Why don't you let people like Harkirat Singh and all these big names see your videos or your
Yeah. Yeah.
tutorials or
Yep.
your coursework or your blogs, and you
True.
have some
True.
credibility to show, right? You don't need a CV or a resume to prove what you know, right? You need authenticity. Just like what you are doing, you are building an authenticity on a public domain. What you are capable of, right?
That's,
So
I
that is
guess, means 1.2. Sorry for interrupting. Like, this
no,
is
no, no, that's fine.
this is one of the most powerful and most powerful way to like knowing sharing your knowledge, like sharing your skills to others. Like,
Hmm.
learning in public is so underrated, and I totally
And
even.
building in public.
Yep, learning and building in public. So go share your thoughts on Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah,
easy. From initially,
exactly.
it used to be little bit shyness is there, little bit what other will
Hmm.
think, and what if I don't able to be consistent. So that's one another
Hmm.
thing. So yeah, building in public is really a most powerful weapon to be to be fair. So yeah, like you
Yes.
have added a valid a nice point into this. So yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
And the second thing is, uh, I would like to acknowledge this fact that in today's world, people have, lowered their self-judgment skills on some advice that somebody is giving. Let's say, just to give you a fair example, today I am talking with you, and through your channel, I am sharing my thoughts, right? But the viewers won't have at least 5 minutes to go and validate my points. Swapnapratim Bhaumik is saying something, but let us verify whether he's saying something good or legit, right? If there is a YouTuber or some great guy who is asking you to go and seek referral from senior engineers and give you a short, like some sort of pamphlet or a template. I'm sorry, a
Okay.
template, and just post that to get your referral up. Just know whether that works or not. Just
Yeah,
analyze your
yeah,
stuffs.
yeah.
Like
They
how
just
will that person even know you with just a small message and a CV and a resume, right?
blind
So have
follow
some
is
self-judgment skills.
yeah. So
Exactly.
just don't just blindly follow means, and others talking about their opinions, because they are talking like you are
Mm,
talking about your opinions, right? So
exactly.
take all the opinions as a grain of salt. Like, follow great people,
Hmm.
take their opinions, but take it as a grain of
Hmm.
salt and analyze. Use your brain. use your
Yeah,
brain.exe. So
exactly.
yeah.
Do
So
some prompt inside.
yeah, man. Nice, valid
Yeah,
points, man. So I like it, and yeah. So yeah, you want to continue in this?
Let me think. Yeah, so to get some valid, like some actionable things to start getting some leads. This so far what I have told you is the mindset that you should have when you are, let's say, looking for new roles, or like having a mindset is the first primary goal. But then what can you do next to do something actionable points? What I would recommend is always look for a, a project which is having a lot of buzz around, right?
Yep.
If you are in blockchain, if there is a project which is catching a lot of attention, but it shouldn't be a project which has no goals, which is just a simple buzz without any underlying value. That shouldn't be your like filter. You should filter out projects which are in the buzz, but which have some very uh, good underlying value associated with it. Just to give you an example, if I'm talking about blockchain, there is something called real world asset. And what it does is it replaces the concept of synthetic asset. So it gives you a lot of advantages and a lot of exposure to real world liquidity. US Treasury bills, or Indian government bonds. These can be associated with the blockchain world in a very closely related manner if we go through this RWA concept. So, having these buzzwords, and with that, finding a project associated with that which is catching a lot of attention, with good people around it, with good people behind it, good leadership, because most of the blockchain projects are open source, right?
Yeah.
And finding these projects, understanding the code base, making, let's say, a blog about it, and contributing something towards it, that would create some great actionable points towards your personal achievements. And once it just takes one good PR for you to convert into a blockchain engineer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a good PR. That's it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Nice. So you have given some very practical knowledge about value,
I would like
practical
to add one
points.
more. I would like to add
Yeah.
a
Sure.
fourth
Sure.
point.
Sure. Sure.
That is it's a very famous saying called your net worth is not your network, but your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
So if you can bring around good people around you, if you can connect to good individuals, like-minded people around you, it's always just a one step closer towards living what they are doing. If I can say my experience, I had been connected to this guy from Chainlink around 4 years back, and I used to stay connected to him regarding his project and all. But then suddenly, when I saw that his project was going up in a beta phase, and I showed up my interest to him, that I'm very keen to know about this project. I want to audit this project for free and all this stuff. This gave me a good head start, and eventually this converted into a full-time role. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is a
Even
very good thing.
even in my case, like uh, the the second opportunity I got and the third opportunity
Hmm.
I got, these all these were like linked to one another. I didn't go
Exactly.
and search for another job at a certain place, but it came from the first one itself. So like you
Yeah.
get the point about like how network is like can make great impacts, like yeah, it
Hmm.
also happened to me. So yeah, totally I agree to that point. Nice.
Yeah.
So adding one more question, that is, for blockchain, is there like, to your knowledge, which communities to join, so that to grow yourself up, and yep, can you name them, some of them?
Recently, see, I was also fairly new to communities actually.
Okay.
I used to hear a lot of people saying that you should involve yourself in communities and all these stuffs. But to be fair, my college was too superior in the terms of syllabus, and I couldn't match my time to involve my
Okay.
heartful community-oriented interest towards it. So
Okay.
that was the problem. But yeah, recently I have seen people getting involved into this these big foundations of, let's say, example would be Ethereum Foundation. Um, and there is a the blockchain version of Stack Overflow. It's called Stack Exchange,
Yep,
Ethereum
yep.
Stack Exchange. So in these type of platforms, like in case of Ethereum Foundation, there is a lot of forums which are built, and where people discuss on some problems and stuff. When a new EIP comes forward, like there is a stage where you can you can propose something new to the Ethereum infrastructure or protocol, and that is made through Ethereum improvement proposals. So every now and then there are a lot of EIPs which are getting pushed to the Ethereum foundation, and in that there is a big discussion that goes on, even up to years, where people get involved, and they add their value to it, they add their opinions to it, and it's a very good way of exchanging thoughts on the fundamentals of what the IP is behind and how do you recognize this, and to know whether the future projection of this protocol is going towards it or not. Adding some value to it. Let's say if I was a part of this improvement proposal getting recognized somewhere in future, then it would be such a huge thing for me that I was responsible for this improvement proposal to be, hard forked
Sure.
into the Ethereum
And
network
yeah,
somewhere in the future.
and also you
Yeah,
get to know the more deep understanding about what actually like under the hood things. So,
exactly.
and you can also like ask in the
And
community. So, and also
in
now,
fact, that's the power of blockchain. You won't see this happening with Microsoft or Google, because
yeah.
these are companies which are closed sourced, and they have their set of employees,
Yep.
they have their set of engineers who work towards that, right?
Yep.
But if you can think of Ethereum or blockchain oriented companies, they have their foundation just to promote the level of decentralization and transparency throughout the world that we want to build in public, and we take your opinions and add value to them,
That's the
right?
most beautiful open source
Exactly,
concept. So yeah, yeah,
exactly.
totally leveraging this all these things. Okay, great. So yeah, let's come to a big spicy thing, that is AI. So what do you
Hmm.
think? What do you think about AI and the big power comes in with the blockchain plus AI? Yeah, you can go with that.
So I totally support artificial intelligence in this world,
Okay.
and I think it's gonna take up a lot of our part. It's gonna be infused into our daily household works as well,
Hmm.
at some point in future. Because what the power of AI is AI agenting. So which is coming in this few recent days, is that
Yeah.
AI agenting is almost making your job totally easy.
Yeah.
Because if you
Yeah.
want to book your flights to Dubai, if you want to get a hotel booked up for this day, an agent can do this easily for you,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
And in the near future, what would happen is this agenting thing would be transfused into banking sectors. It would be inside yeah, your wallet custody, everything where you hold funds as well. Wherever you are involved with payments and all, agents will be involved in that as
Yeah, I
well.
mean slowly,
The power of
steadily. Yeah, slowly and
ex-
steadily, it's coming to the critical stuff as well.
exactly. So all the critical services which are being provided by big providers, and some where in the future they will recognize that it makes their job so easy, right? We will save so much of money just with agents. You can treat agents as employees, right?
Yep.
Exactly like employees.
For now, just
So
interns.
for now, interns, exactly, they are in probation,
Okay.
uh, in flight mode. But yeah, at some point in future, they're going to be full-time employees
Yep.
of real-world businesses. And in that case, there is a big risk of not getting the work what they are doing to be verifiable, right? If there is a banking process involved, there is a huge auditing system that goes on at each step.
Yep.
every step goes through an internal audit, right? So if I can give you a small example, if an agent is involved in making a swap transaction on Uniswap from, Ethereum to Bitcoin, if you're swapping Ethereum to Bitcoin through an agent, your agent will be holding your private keys,
Yep.
right? And you trust the agent, at least for now. But we don't know whether that intern agent turns out to be a
Under
moonlighter.
Yeah, and under the hood it's about the APIs, Claude APIs, Anthropic APIs,
Exactly.
OpenAI APIs. So
Exactly.
they might have know your API keys, who knows, and
Yeah.
may have trained your API keys on their further models, and you may see your API keys on someone else prompt, means response coming in. So
Mhm.
that's insane.
Exactly. So like the power of blockchain is to involve itself between these processes of AI agenting and interfacing with a user and making each step verifiable.
Yep.
Because in the fundamental core concept of blockchain, you have verification at every step of transactions. Every transaction that is mined on the blockchain is first verified through some consensus algorithm. Once the consensus is reached, then only you can say that this transaction has been mined, right?
True.
And if we can infuse that into each and every process of AI, we can basically make the whole system trustless and permissionless.
Yep.
You know, we won't have to be involving trust between AI and the human just so that they can do the work for us.
And also like you can ensure that for means with the use of this blockchain technology and consensus protocol, all these things, you can ensure
Hmm.
that they are not going wrong, because you have something, some algorithms running behind that. So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's a pretty strong concept, and like a pretty strong point about how our future will be looking like, with as
exactly.
complex stuff doing by the AI agents, and for the verification and all the auditing stuff will be done by the agents. So we will
Exactly.
just sit and see.
Yeah.
Nice,
We will
nice,
sit and see.
nice, nice. Okay, so do you have any view on how the developers will look like in the future? Like everyone be like, the job market is finished, and by 2030, though there will no jobs. Everyone. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God. I'm in
So.
big tension right now. Oh shit. My job is gonna go.
Acting 10 rupees cut for the acting. Okay.
50 रुपए काट ओवर एक्टिंग का.
Okay. So yeah, let's
So
go.
yeah, just to be, like seriously, I'm saying
Okay.
that there is no future for vibe coding, at least for now, because what I can see is vibe coding would would not, like it wouldn't scale to a lot of,
Yeah.
high level production level companies, because you might not be sure whether that code would be enough to handle so much of state together, so much of user state together. There are people who are actually just through prompt engineering creating all these trading bots,
Yeah.
and maybe there are some people making money out of it, but you don't know for sure, right? How that works behind. Let's say something goes wrong, you will have no idea where the fuck went wrong, right? So that's the huge, as you said earlier, it's a very dangerous concept. It's a very dangerous aspect of vibe coding that people will forget how to write logic,
Yep.
how
Yep.
to
Yep.
think, how to think creatively, you know. And if I remember once, Sabir Bhatia, who was the founder of Hotmail, now Outlook.com,
Okay.
he once said that people have the AI. What AI currently does is it takes the current knowledge base, the current data points, and makes something out of it.
Yeah.
But what a human is capable of is generating new
Hmm,
imagination,
hmm.
new creation inside their mind. AI can't invent gravity at this point if there was no gravity till date,
Yeah, yeah.
because AI does not have the power to think in a way which has never occurred.
AI is just a next word prediction. That is what you can say.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the
Exactly.
it's we call it neural network, but it doesn't have neural
Hmm.
network. So,
Exactly. Nothing
so
compared to this neural network.
yep, yep, yep. So,
So vibe coding is completely inferior to what people are actually having their hands getting dirty towards writing a project. Yeah, there's nothing compared to this world that can replace a human logic getting interfered into some project. Thinking creatively, thinking how all these
yeah.
front end code bases work, and scaling to a number of users where it doesn't get crashed. But the prompt engineers
Yep.
wouldn't have an idea that if there's a crash happening at your website, you wouldn't have any idea where that happened. Recently I was having a research on, I have a very little knowledge of front end development, but I was looking through a new concept of memory leakage,
Okay.
and the optimizing the front end code base. And there is, obviously you might know it better, that there is something called the document object model,
Yeah, yeah.
right? The whole browser has been organized into an object oriented framework.
Yeah.
But whenever you write all the front end code bases, there is a lot of tree and nodes
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
created inside. And when there is a detached node from the DOM, it causes memory leakage, and that creates your response time, the rendering time, very slow, and it makes it very heavy for the front end to render to the user, and that exponentially decreases user experience. So this kind of information could never be analyzed by a vibe coder without even knowing this concept, right? And that is something which I came to know only by surfing through the current project that I was working on, and what
And
could go wrong
yeah,
in the
yeah,
worst
yeah.
case.
And let us assume AI agents can, like, AI can code for yourself, but it's not all about coding. If we assume also that the coding part is done by AI, but like the concepts, the overview, the architecture, everything, it's not all about coding, right? The
Hmm.
discussions, the which approach will be better, all these things come forward, so that can't be
Yeah.
handled by AI, right? So
Hmm.
we can use AI, like we should use AI for making the
Exactly.
process faster, but it's not the ultimatum, right? So yeah, you need to understand that.
Yeah.
And also, like,
Yeah. You can make yourself productive through AI,
yeah.
but you can't just replace your human brain with an AI.
And also I see that some vibe coders like just do vibe coding, like they just building, like giving the prompts, all the AI, like cursor, all this now to no need of copy paste also. They are just doing the
Exactly.
edits. So you just
Yeah.
sit and do watch, and also, like, if they face error, they also like copy the error and go dump into the prompt. That's it.
Yeah.
So but they should have reviewed it. Like, it's so dangerous to have unreviewed code into your code base. Like, it's so dangerous,
Yeah.
man.
And
So
going live with it.
oh man, I can think of it. Like, there are so many Twitter
Yeah.
posts on this. Like, the AI have exposed their API keys and whatnot, man. So
Yeah.
like
I can bet on people who are exposing their private keys to ChatGPT prompts.
oh shit, shit.
Sam Altman might have a huge ton of private keys in this data stores right now.
Man, nice, nice. So yeah, that's use your, like, you can start with vibe coding, but ultimately you have to come to have the knowledge. You have to know the knowledge to review the code. So
Exactly.
yeah. So, do you have any final points to, like, before coming to we have a rapid fire round. So before coming to that, do you have any, like, final thoughts?
About what exactly?
Like, on this AI note itself. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. On this AI note, I would like to, share my small experience, something which you can add in your daily life. Is that how I use AI? Is that, let's say I'm learning a new technology
Mm-hmm.
and I am completely a beginner to it, completely zero to it. I have zero knowledge on how this works at production level.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do, how I would use AI in this case is, I would maybe give a prompt to it where I would enact itself to be me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and tell it that you are, in my case, but you have got in touch with this engineer who is dope in this shit and who has scaled his level of work, and he is ready to teach you this concept or this technology.
Mm-hmm.
So he has given you a syllabus to learn with and start from, and just giving that prompt, it would give you a
Yeah.
small, a small piece of cheat sheet that you can use and
Mm-hmm.
refer to
Yeah.
and start with it at least, right? And it would make your job so much easier because if you could, do something with on yourself, then what you would do, you would go to youtube.com, you would search how to learn this type of technology, and there would be n number of videos throughout it. But if you know what are the key fundamental points you need to learn for this technology, you can just go pick up the specific thing and learn
Yep. Yep.
through,
Yep. Yep.
right?
A valid point. Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, and let's not and I'm like lengthen it much. Coming to our rapid fire round. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
not that much spicy enough, but yeah, let's start. Okay, NFTs, art or scam? Just with
Art.
one word to one sentence answers.
It's an art, but
Okay,
you can make it a scam.
okay,
Depends.
okay, okay. Your three-word blockchain prediction. Like not three-word, like you can yeah.
Traditional finance will be dominated by blockchain.
Okay, okay. Okay, metaverse, future or flop?
Scam, flop.
Okay, okay. AI will replace blockchain developers by which year? Already you have talked on this.
1947.
Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, then copilot or cursor? Like, yeah, basic agent like copilot. Yeah,
Mm, cursor.
okay. Last rapid fire. Legacy code, refactor it or rewrite it?
Rewrite it.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. I like the choices. Okay, so before ending our nice podcast, so do you have any final thoughts on in general, like final thoughts? Yeah.
Mhm. To give out my personal message to all of you people, lovely people, beautiful people in this
Okay.
space, uh, uh, never stop building. Have that small engineering baby inside yourself that is always curious to open the computer, burst it out open, know where is the SSD, where is the HDD, where is the floppy disk. Like have that engineer, breathe engineering throughout. If you are an engineer from inside, this is what you will recognize everywhere. Even if you see a small piece of, very early telegram device, they will be so curious to know how this worked at that time, how this traveled through a long distance, how the raw spy espionage people from Pakistan did communicate with Indian operators. How did this happen? Having that small engineering baby inside
Yeah.
would always keep you one step ahead of every vibe coder at this planet. Right?
True, true,
And
true. Like I
always
agree.
try to think that if you want to if you want to really level up yourself, try to think what a senior engineer at your place would do. There was a very great advice given to me from a great dude I am connected to for years.
Okay.
And what he had said that is, oftentimes the most simplest solution to the most complex problem is the most faster, efficient, and scalable. People think that if there's a complex problem, there would be some complex solutions to it. But what a senior engineer would do is, how can I solve this problem with the most little line of code, the most simplest approach, but also keeping in mind the the least time complexity, the least space complexity, and the most amount of speed, scalability, whatnot. So it's not necessary that the complex problem would require a complex solution. It could be a simple solution as well, right? And that is what a senior engineer does.
Yep, yep,
So thinking
yep.
in terms of senior engineer would always level, getting yourself leveled up one step ahead of every junior engineer, or at least engineers at your level in the market, so that you can put your extra edge on the scale.
And also like uh, I used to see a lot of senior engineer content, like like there is I forgot the YouTube channels, but yes, I used to follow them. Like they have given me the mindset, the mindset they give, I just love. And their point of view is like amazing, like I just enjoy. And also like how they think, the mindset, the point of view of a senior engineer is is mind blowing to me. Like yeah, that one
Hmm.
point I wanted to add. So
Great. Yeah.
so yeah, like it's great talking to you. I guess the podcast is great, and I have enjoyed it. And have you enjoyed
Me
it or
too, bro.
not? Okay, nice, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
man.
I guess the
I
audience
had a
also.
great time.
Cool, 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 cool. I guess the audience also have pretty much valuable stuff and enjoyed the whole thing. And let's
Yeah,
keep
I
it,
wish.
yeah, let's make it to the end now. And yeah, I'll of course call you, like if we have any other discussions or any spicy
Definitely.
topic or anything,
Definitely.
we'll of course call you
Yeah.
back. And till then,
Hmm.
let's see you back. Bye.